These are 10 things you didn't know about Erling Haaland. And at number 1, the Norwegian striker may be banging in goals for Man City now.
And he sends the goalkeeper the wrong way.
But as a kid, he had a very different dream. You see, a young Erling Haaland actually dreamed of being a rapper. Haaland looked up at all the famous rappers like Kanye, 50 Cent, Snoop Dogg, Lil Dicky, and dreamt of one day being able to take the stage like his idols did. Haaland practiced his rapping skills every day so that one day he could become the GOAT rapper, and back in 2016, he released his first single, Flow Kings, which now has over 11 million views.
With my friends making a really nice song that's quite popular now, we have to say.
Wow, maybe Haaland could have been the real Slim Shady. Although Haaland had dreams of becoming the next rap god, his daddy, Alf Inge Haaland, had different plans for his boy, plans for revenge. You see, back in 2001, Alf Inge Haaland was a pro football player for Man City who often went head-to-head with their fierce rivals, Man United. During a game between the two clubs, the Man United captain Roy Keane gave Alf Inge Haaland one of the worst tackles in football history, leaving him devastated with a tragic injury. It was at this moment that Haaland's daddy created a master plan for revenge. Daddy Haaland couldn't get revenge himself, so he spent years preparing his son to get the revenge for him. They trained together day after day until Erling Haaland was finally ready.
Show my strengths I can see in Erling.
Haaland signed for Man City 20 years later to get the job done, and that's exactly what he did by bagging a hat-trick against Man United, showing them that Manchester is blue, and that maybe Roy Keane should have gone for the balls instead.
The Haaland family will be celebrating, the Fodens as well. They each have a match ball.
And speaking about balls, did you know that Haaland loves sleeping with balls in his face? Those are footballs, of course. You see, every time Haaland bags a hat-trick, he gets to take home the match ball. Now, most players like Ronaldo, Messi, or Neymar would keep their balls in a special room to be able to admire all their balls, but not Haaland. In 2019, when Haaland was just starting his ball collection, he admitted that he goes to bed every night with all these balls in bed with him. He even treats them like they're his girlfriends and stares at these balls every day. Now, besides getting into bed with all these balls, Haaland has a secret nighttime routine, which he says is the reason he's been banging in goals all season. You see, my man Haaland says bye-bye to his phone 3 hours before he even gets into his bed, but what's even crazier is what he wakes up to. After a long night dreaming about scoring hat-tricks, winning the Ballon d'Or, and subscribing to Top Bins, Haaland makes sure that he wakes up to the Champions League anthem playing every single morning.
True that the Champions League anthem was your ringtone for a while?
Yeah, it still is.
Saying it'll motivate him to finally win the trophy.
This is my biggest dream, and I did it, so it's unbelievable.
I guess the Norwegian machine was right after all. Talking about machines, there's a secret about Haaland that he definitely does not want you to know about. Even his teammates have admitted this, and Haaland can't keep it a secret for much longer. You see, Haaland isn't a real human, but is actually a robot?
His goal-scoring record this season has just been ridiculous. He's quite simply a robot.
I mean, look at what happens when his opponents try to tackle him. He must be made of metal the way they injure themselves. There has even been a petition going around to ban Haaland from ever playing football again because people don't believe he's human. Even his own teammate Laporte signed the petition, which has got over 400,000 votes, proving Haaland is actually a robot. The craziest thing about being a machine like Haaland is that he needs special food to fuel his football superpowers, and that's why Haaland has the strangest diet in the world of football. You see, all the best football players in the world eat foods like chicken, pasta, and filet mignon steak, but not this superstar. Haaland eats the craziest foods to make up a 6,000 calorie diet, like cow heart and cow liver, since he knows that this will give him the power to dominate all the players on the pitch. But the real secret meal in the life of Haaland, well, that's got to be lasagna. A strange secret to success, but before every match, Haaland makes sure to devour a plate of his father's famous lasagna, which is the reason Erling says he's been banging in so many goals lately.
My mother and father to take good care of me and to cook some good Norwegian food.
But what does Haaland do when he's not bagging hat-tricks or winning Champions Leagues?
Are you going to sleep lonely tonight? Yeah. You're not taking a girlfriend at home right now. You didn't score a hat-trick. Didn't score, no.
Well, Haaland has an embarrassing hobby that he wishes he kept a secret. When asked how he likes to relax, he told reporters that he plays video games in his free time. Now, I know what you're thinking. Surely a beast like Haaland will be playing FIFA, GTA, or Call of Duty when he's gaming with the boys, but you'd be wrong because Haaland took to Instagram to drop a quick pic of him and the boys playing squads on Minecraft. If I was the Ender Dragon, I'd be scared to face up against Haaland, but not as scared as the kids that he used to face. Yes, it's true. You see, when Haaland was just 5 years old, all the other kids were scared of him and nobody wanted to face him. But this fear didn't come on the football pitch. It came in the long jump, where Haaland dominated from a young age, actually breaking the world record when he was just a boy. This athletic ability that the Vikings showed came as no surprise, as not only his daddy was a pro player, but his mommy was actually an athlete herself. No wonder he's the fastest player ever to reach 20 Premier League goals. This guy's a machine. When you're this good at the game, you're definitely in for a fat check. When Haaland signed for Man City back in October, he was handed a weekly salary of £850,000. That's over $1 million a week. Haaland's swimming in cash, but where does the Norwegian beast splash all that cash? As you'd expect, he loves to blow his money on expensive holidays, spending $500K in one night in Greece. Man, that must have been a crazy night. But when Haaland isn't living it up on holiday, he's got homes to live in worth $3 million, $7 million, but those are nothing compared to his $25 million palace he's living in now, which was actually the former home of superstar Paul Pogba. Now, buying houses may be all fun and games, but what Erling Haaland loves to flex more than anything are his supercars. You see, Haaland's got some crazy whips like a Mercedes GLE, an Audi RS6, a BMW M5, and even a Range Rover Sport. That's over $500,000 in cars. But Haaland's craziest purchase has got to be a cold room? Hear me out. Recently, Haaland dropped $50K just to have a decked-out cryo chamber in his house, as he believes this will give him a better recovery after matches so he can dominate the sport for the next 20 years. But Haaland isn't the first football superstar to be known to splash the cash on luxury cars, houses, and watches. You see, Haaland was just a boy when he would see his footballing idol banging in goals week in, week out on the pitch, and then spending his bread on the craziest of things. This is, of course, the footballing icon, Phil Jones. Just kidding. It's, of course, Cristiano Ronaldo, who Haaland says was a massive inspiration to him as he models his game on the Portuguese superstar so that one day he could be the GOAT like Ronaldo. But to be the GOAT like Ronaldo, he's got to have a rival like Messi. And he's found exactly that in his arch nemesis Kylian Mbappe. You see, this all started back in 2020 when Haaland faced Mbappe in the Champions League quarterfinals, where in the first match, Haaland bagged a double, seeing his team Borussia Dortmund lead 2-1, and to celebrate, Haaland emoted on the PSG team, which left Mbappe furious. When they returned for the second match, Mbappe was not playing around as PSG went on to win 3-2, leaving Haaland devastated, but just to worsen the blow, the whole PSG team went and copied Haaland's celebration just to mock him even more. This was the start of endless comparisons between the two young superstars, but do you think Haaland will be the next GOAT? Or will Mbappe take that crown away from him?